I'm Henok. I'm also joined today by Anthony, Eric, and also Darren. So guys, what have you been up to today? Or this week?
Don't know. What have we been up to? It's been a tough week this week.
It's been long.
It's been a tough week. Obviously the main thing for us as TV addicts is the return of The Walking Dead, which was, I think, awesome, actually. Yeah. I think it's been one of the best kind of returns to a series in a very, very, very long time.
I've still not seen it. So,
yeah. All right.
I think it's been brilliant. I agree.
I think the great thing about this series from other series is where it was concentrating on escaping zombies. There's this kind of psychological edge to it, which is more around how they're being affected by the human part of it and the fact that they're all going to become zombies. And then obviously you've got this survival aspect. So them having to fight other humans to survive. And I think that's quite an interesting take on it, because I suppose in some kind of post-apocalyptic world that probably is the way things will be, and it's things happen and infighting happens. So I think that's been a great TV.
I agree. I think you're really finding out the characters and what are their motives, and them breaking up as a group. Are they going to break up? It's just been phenomenal. I agree.
From what I've seen of it, talking about other human groups, is that not everyone knows the same things either, because they only found out people turning into zombies from the scientists that they met in season 1. Whereas a lot of other people still hold different beliefs about how you turn into a zombie, what happens, is any of the real person left within that person. Sounds really interesting.
What season is it now?
Season 5.
Yeah. And just picking up on that point there, I think that ability to let go of someone once they've turned, I think that's been even more evident this season. And I think the great thing about it is you've kind of got this Game of Thrones feel about it now, that no one's safe. I think you've probably got 2, maybe 3 untouchable characters.
Yeah.
But no one else is safe. Anyone within that cast can go at any point, and which has happened already. Tail end of the kind of mid-break, you had a big, with no spoilers, you had a big event at the mid-season, and then coming straight back into it, and another one. This has been brilliant. Just really good TV.
See, I'm from season 2. I mean, I stopped watching from season 2 because it's season 2, the farm thing.
With the girl.
Yeah, and I still wanted to watch the rest of it, but I've put off the other seasons because of that. Yeah. But I haven't caught on, and then people have, mini spoiler alerts, but then when you hear people have died, and you're like...
Yeah. I mean, the season 2 was the worst season.
Yeah, hands down.
Without a shadow of a doubt. There's a guy I work with, and this is a little bit of a spoiler alert, but this is how he broke he said, I'm going to summarise season 2 in one sentence. The farm burns down, they all do one. And that's pretty much how he wrapped it up, and I think that's... Skip season 2. That's my advice to anyone that's watching The Walking Dead. You won't miss out.
I quite like season 2 because it did bring in that thing of, if someone does turn, then do you still look after them? How do you treat them? Are they still your family? Would you be able to kill someone that close to you?
But could that be an episode?
It was
2 or 3 episodes.
Maybe not into a season or anything. But it was them then going out, finding resources, meeting new people for the first time, and trying to combine them into one group. Then you've got the different kind of, you've got a real pacifist there, a religious person who doesn't want to see people as dead already.
Yeah.
So I thought it was quite interesting from that point of view, but from a weekly, going back to it every week was a little bit tough going.
Yeah.
Because it was
since then, I think it's been a tour de force. It's been absolutely amazing. I mean, since they got to the prison, and everything since then has just been
so
awesome.
Much to watch.
Good TV.
Season 3 was really good.
Talk of TV, Better Call Saul. Who's been catching up on that?
Yes.
This week, it was just brilliant.
Yeah.
You've seen it this week.
Yeah.
The cliffhanger that it left you on was just fantastic.
Are they one episode in?
No, 3.
Third episode.
Really? Yeah,
definitely.
And obviously this is all happening on Netflix. I think, I was watching it with my other half, and I don't think she kind of got it yet. I think she feels it's got a different feel to Breaking Bad. She thinks it's a Breaking Bad thing, and I was like, well, no, it's not. It's its own entity.
Yeah,
I think it's great that they've gone off of that. It's a prequel.
It's a prequel.
So what's the main differences? Because obviously I want to watch it, but I've seen Breaking Bad, but really I have no clue.
So Saul Goodman was the attorney, the lawyer for Walter White. This is actually set before he becomes Saul Goodman. So he's Jimmy McGill.
Jimmy McGill.
Who is a down and out lawyer. His brother's a massive lawyer, but his brother's obviously suffering from some kind of anxiety or mental state. And he's just fighting this kind of internal battle with himself about doing the right thing versus making money, because he's really scraping the barrel.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of knowing where he's going to end up. Mm-hmm. I think that's the great thing about it, is you can see that he's fighting with it, but you know it's obviously a losing battle because you know how it ends up.
Because he's battling the being good, you know, going down the good road, or is he go down the bad route, and you know where it's going to end up. But as you said, it's just the decisions he makes to lead up to it has just been brilliant.
Good premise for a series like Gotham. It's still good. You gotta have to watch it.
Don't get me started on Gotham again.
Are you still watching it?
I don't know if it's come back on. I think it's coming back on. But no, I like it. Actually, I do like it.
Have they finished season 1?
No, it went on a mid-season break.
Mid-season break.
I think it's back on in the States, but I don't think we've got it here yet.
It's coming out soon. But I like it.
Yeah, and this is where we have that uncomfortable silence, right?
Well, if someone has to like it, it might as well be me.
Moving swiftly on.
I think we've previously spoken. There's just too much stuff on TV.
There is.
Something doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But it works for you, so well done. Yeah. I have also watched a little bit of TV, but it was old TV. So I ended up watching episode 1 of the original Thundercats event. Which was really weird because it's a 20-minute episode, they spend 15 minutes of it naked. Do you remember the Thundercats being naked at the start?
They were not at all. Well, because they just crash landed on the planet, didn't they?
Yeah.
So they come out of their cryo chamber, and this is testing my memory now. They come out of their cryo chambers and Schnarf is there. Schnarf.
God, he's annoying.
And obviously, Lion-O was a child when he went into the chambers, but he becomes a grown man when he comes out, and he's absolutely Starkers.
Yeah, they were Starkers before that, so it's all a bit weird.
But great, they found clothes on. Was it Thundera, or was that where they came from? Jarga. They came from
the main
Thundera.
guy from Thundera saw it blow up, and then he gave them magical clothing or something. I don't quite understand how it works. He chucked something at them, and then they were clothed.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Andy's obviously the biggest geek on the
going. Obviously, they've done a new Thundercats TV series, so it kind of makes me want to watch the new ones, just see how it is. Not on the level, it's a 10-year anniversary of Avatar, The Last Airbender, which I know obviously tends to make people laugh. But actually that was a brilliant TV series.
Yeah, it was,
and it was kind of using the same kind of animation style on it, which kind of made,
And that's been followed up by The Legend of Korra,
of Korra, which is finished now, and apparently brilliant. Started to watch season 1, but I definitely recommend watching Avatar.
More stuff.
Not the Shyamalan film. But just the actual series itself.
And you've been to the cinema as well, right?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of films. So with Oscar season coming up, obviously, watched The Imitation Game a little while ago, which I thought was really good. I already kind of knew about the story, so but the character work in it was brilliant, and Cumberbatch was awesome as usual. I've watched Kingsman, which I really enjoyed.
Really? Was it that good?
Yeah, it was really, really good fun. I don't know, and maybe it's something we'll talk about a little later on, but I don't know whether it's cinema worthy. Okay. It's one of those things, you want a film to do well, but 15 odd quid per ticket now is obviously a bit of a sting sometimes.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies.
But it was, I grew up with all the old James Bond films and everything, and it was like a call back to how kind of randomly funny it was, like little puns here and there.
I've heard that. I heard it's kind of in the middle of kind of Austin Powers and James Bond.
Kind of, that's probably more a safer bet on it. But Samuel L. Jackson was brilliant in it. It's not really a spoiler because you should have seen the trailers by now. But he's got a lisp, and you wouldn't think it's as funny as it is all the way through, but it really is. Every single line has like an S or a C or a ch in there, and it's just, he's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant in that.
So touching on the Oscars, I was looking through the kind of list of nominees in just the movie titles, and I realised I've hardly seen. I don't think I've seen any of those films.
I don't even know who's been nominated.
I couldn't tell you.
I
I couldn't tell you
don't-
what's. I don't even know what movies are listed. I think I've seen
Saw political.
one probably. American Sniper. Is that?
I think that's
That's
on the list.
That's the only one I've
I
probably
think
seen.
it is.
But because normally there's such a massive hype, and I think over the last couple of years, like 12 Years a Slave, and Avatar, and even Lord of the Rings movies, there's been so much of a hype around it. But it's kind of passed me by. I don't know if it's to do with the quality of the films or the fact that I've changed the way in which I consume my movies now.
I think a lot of it is because a lot of films have been released, instead of being released worldwide, they're being released in different territories at different times.
Yeah.
So I think we had Kingsman before the States got it. States had American Sniper before we got it. And so there's a bit of a mismatch, I think, with what's available to us. Like, no one's heard of, I think it's called Birdman. With right, which I really want to see. But there's been next to no advertising for it in the UK. So it's only because we...
Yeah, I heard it's really good. And it's one of those films where one of my colleagues saw it and he said, the way it's filmed, it's one long shot.
Yeah.
So you'll have two people talking, and then someone's going by, and then the camera will just pan to that person, and then it follows on. So it's so I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
Well,
I love Michael Keaton as well.
Michael,
I think that'd be quite good to watch.
He was good with Batman.
He was good.
Same.
He went downhill after him.
Okay, yeah.
Massively so.
And Chris Nolan came along and Christian Bale. But anyway,
Yeah.
no, but that's the thing. Talking about Birdman, I saw that, and I thought, I didn't see the movie, but I thought, this is a movie I really want to watch. But then I was thinking to myself, like, I should most probably wait till it comes out on, to stream or rent, because now,
it's more of a character film, isn't it? It's if you remember Drive from a little while ago, it was I loved it, loved the film, but I probably wouldn't have gone to cinema to watch it.
But I think and it might just be my opinion, but I think that seems to be something that's happening a lot. I mean, now I've got Sky Movies, I've got the internet, I've got Netflix, Amazon Prime. Yeah. I sit here on a Saturday night and I think I've got so much to choose from. Why am I going to spend £10-15? Yeah. And then when you get there, you've got to spend 15 quid on some popcorn and a drink. When actually I can be warm, I can stay at home, I don't have...
And you're not sharing.
I don't have kids behind us talking all the way through it, which really winds me up. But I can actually sit down in an environment I'm comfortable with the ambulances going past every 5 minutes, and watch a film that I really want to watch. And I think that's it. I think the way people consume movies, and I think we might have talked about this around consuming content in the last in the Tester episode, but I think that's changed. People want on-demand stuff, and I think going to a showing at a particular time and having to spend that amount of money doesn't appeal to people anymore.
No, and it shows you that a lot of the big companies now are doing their own thing completely. They won't touch movies, or previously they'd release like a mini short film or something, but now they're jumping straight into series and building up like a kind of head of steam behind it, like Game of Thrones and Walking Dead and everything else. So,
brilliant. I think that leads us into what we're going to talk about in our next part, right? So it's probably best to kind of wrap that up.
Thanks for joining us, and join us in part 2.